Hi, everybody. I hope you're all keeping well and welcome to our tiny garden. I have been away from this garden for the last 3 months or so, and I'm telling you, everything that could go wrong in your garden went wrong. Our tiny garden has been heavily infested with red spider mites, and this has really destroyed all of our apple trees, and it has also affected our citrus trees. The last couple of months have been very dry and very hot. That makes these mites thrive even more. They have a very high reproduction rate and they are very microscopic. You're really not able to see them with your naked eye unless you're using a magnifying glass, and you can still easily see the infestations, and especially on these apple trees you can see that the infestation has manifested through yellow or bronze discoloration, and then you can see stippling on the leaves, and this happens when the mites feed on the plant cells and therefore they end up damaging the chlorophyll. These heavily affected leaves end up drying out and then they drop. And you can also see a display of fine webbing on the undersides or around the leaf bases. And in severe cases, like on this apple tree, you can see the infestation has weakened the tree because it reduced photosynthesis, as previously mentioned. And this will ultimately lower the fruit yield and also the quality of the fruit. In this video, I shall be attempting to resuscitate our apple trees using organic solutions. And just before we get into that, it was very important for me to identify if we need to correct anything in terms of nutrition. And I was able to identify that we have a potassium deficiency in the apple trees. And you can see this manifests as yellowing or browning along the edges of the older leaves. And this is called as leaf margin scorch because the leaves appear curled and they also appear scorched, and they are also weak and stunted. And if your trees have a potassium deficiency, they will end up producing smaller fruits that are poor in color and flavor. And additionally, the tree's overall resistance to stress declines, and therefore it makes it more vulnerable to environmental challenges. Magnesium deficiency was also evident, and this is seen as yellowing between the veins of the older leaves, creating what we call as intervenial chlorosis. And finally, I was able to spot zinc deficiency. Zinc deficiency is something that you can easily spot in your apple trees because it is indicated by small, narrow leaves that we call little leaf or rosetting, where the new growth is stunted and the leaves cluster closely together. And zinc deficiency will lead to poor bud development and reduce flowering. I do have a well detailed scientific video on how nutritional deficiencies manifest in plants and how to deal with that organically. So, if you're interested in the science of it all, please do check out that video. In terms of diseases, I was able to spot what looks like fire blight. I'm really not sure about this. If you are an expert on apple trees, please let me know in the comment section. Normally, it usually starts from the shoots, where the shoots have what we call a shepherd's crook shape, and then also moves to the blossoms, and then it moves to the branches. Now, I'm saying this because I was able to spot these blossom blight, and then I also have a tree that has been heavily affected by fire blight. And I'm thinking it's fire blight. I'm really not sure about this. So if you know something different, please let me know. So this is the tree that I'm talking about. I have tried to resuscitate this tree for the last 1 year and a half, and nothing is happening. It just keeps giving me this new growth that gives me hope, but eventually it develops that shepherd's crook on the tips, and then it starts drying out towards the main stem. It has really affected the entire tree. The entire tree is dying. It has this serious dieback, and I think it is time for me to let it go. I mean, I've tried for the last 2 years, but I think it's just about time. I will have to uproot this tree. What I do not understand is that I know fire blight is sort of contagious. It is spread by pollinators, and we do have the other three apple trees just close by, but they've really never been affected. So, what I want to understand is, do we have resistant varieties of apple trees from fire blight? And on that note, all the four trees that I planted are of the same variety. So I do not understand what is happening, but I guess I'm lucky that the other three trees are really not affected by what is going on these trees. So please let me know if we have resistant varieties of apple trees that are resistant to this fire blight. So after I have been able to identify what it is that we are dealing with, I went ahead and started clearing the grass around the apple trees. And clearing this grass is very important for several reasons. Number one is that grass competes with fruit trees for water, nutrients, and sunlight, often stunting the tree growth. So by removing the grass, the tree can now access more resources and it will be able to grow stronger. Next, I dug a shallow trench around the apple trees, and this trench will help with water management by guiding rain or irrigation water directly to the roots because it's going to prevent runoff and ensures that the tree gets adequate hydration. The trench can also reduce the spread of pests and diseases from the grass to the tree, creating a barrier that isolates the tree's roots from potential threats. After that, I'm going to feed my plants with homemade liquid fertilizer that is made from chicken and rabbit manure. This is an excellent organic option for providing essential nutrients to the trees. The chicken manure is rich in nitrogen, which is vital for leafy growth and overall plant vigor, while the rabbit manure will offer a balanced mix of nutrients, including potassium, which supports strong root development and flower production. And this combination will also provide magnesium that is essential for photosynthesis and chlorophyll production, and also zinc that is crucial for enzyme activity and overall plant metabolism. I also do have a well detailed scientific video on how to make liquid fertilizers right at home. So if you're interested in the science of it all, please do check out that video as well. You are supposed to dilute this liquid fertilizer with water in a ratio of 1:1 and preferably use unchlorinated water. But if your plants are in a critical condition like mine are, please do not dilute it. Just use it as is. And then from there, you can continue now to dilute with the said ratios. From there, I'll go ahead and mulch the fruit trees, and mulching is super important for many reasons. One, it reduces the need for frequent watering by retaining moisture in the soil. It also helps in temperature regulation and also in weed suppression. Therefore, it prevents weed growth and reduces competition for nutrients and water. It is also important for nutrient enrichment because organic mulches will decompose over time, and therefore it's going to add valuable nutrients to the soil. It also enhances soil texture and promotes better root growth. And finally, it encourages beneficial soil microorganisms, therefore improving your soil health. Next is to make our organic insecticide solution, and we shall start by getting ourselves some aloe vera leaves. So I've gotten two mature aloe vera leaves, and aloe vera is an excellent natural insect repellent as it contains compounds called as saponins. These act as a natural insect repellent, helping to deter pests without the need for harmful chemicals, and it is also soothing to plants. It is gentle on plants, making it safe to use on a variety of crops without causing damage. And it also contains vitamins and minerals and also amino acids that support plant growth and boost their resilience against pests. And when mixed with other natural ingredients such as garlic or neem oil, which we are going to mix in this formulation, it enhances the addition to plant surfaces, making the insecticide even more effective. On top of that, aloe vera is biodegradable, it is non toxic, it makes it a safe option for both beneficial insects and the environment. And it also has antimicrobial properties on top of that, that helps protect the plants from fungal infection and that may result from pest damage. Next, I'll be adding garlic to this formulation, and garlic is a well known, actually, a very popular ingredient when it comes to homemade insecticides. This is because garlic is highly effective due to its natural pest repelling properties. It has compounds, that is, sulfur compounds, such as allicin, that have a strong insecticidal effect, deterring a wide range of pests like aphids, mosquitoes, and beetles. It also has antifungal and antibacterial beneficial agents that protect the plants from disease causing pathogens. It is also non toxic to plants and the environment, making it a safer alternative. And finally, garlic has a very strong odor that will help mask the scents that attract pests, further reducing pest infestation. Another popular ingredient that I'll be adding to this formulation is chili peppers. Chili peppers are an excellent natural pest solution because they contain compounds we call capsaicin. Capsaicin is what makes the chili peppers spicy, and it deters a wide range of pests. Capsaicin also causes irritation to the sensory organs of pests, driving them away without causing harm to the plants. It is safe for plants, beneficial insects, and the environment when it is used in moderation. Chili peppers also offer long lasting protection because the strong scent and irritation properties of chili peppers will help keep the pests away for extended periods of time. Once all of our ingredients are ready, we are going to put everything in a blender and then we are going to blend this thoroughly. Once we are done blending, we are going to allow the mixture to sit for 24 hours, and this will help activate the compounds from garlic like the allicin and also some compounds from chili like the capsaicin that we talked about to fully infuse into the solution. This makes the insecticide more potent as the natural chemicals have time to develop and to be released. Contrary to the popular opinion, some people like boiling this mixture. Please do not attempt to boil it. Boiling will destroy some of the delicate compounds, especially in garlic, which could reduce the effectiveness of the insecticide. After 24 hours are over, we are going to strain or sieve the mixture so that we are able to remove any solids because we really do not want to have them in our sprayer because they are definitely going to block our sprayer. I also added bicarbonate of soda, and this is super important because it helps in combating fungal diseases like powdery mildew. It actually creates an alkaline environment on the plant surface, and this inhibits the growth of many fungi as they generally thrive in acidic conditions. Bicarbonate will also disrupt fungal cell membranes that leads to their dehydration and eventual death. Once that is done, I am going to introduce my solution into a 20-liter sprayer. However, I'm only going to be making 10 liters of this solution. So introduce that into your sprayer. And then on top of that, I am going to add neem oil. And this is one of my favorite products to use. It's very, very effective. Remember, we have a very high infestation of red spider mites. So as we are working on repelling the pests, we also need an ingredient that is going to kill the pests ASAP as we work on repelling the rest of the red spider mites. Neem oil is a highly effective, eco friendly insecticide that works against a wide range of pests, including aphids, spider mites, and caterpillars. It is derived from the neem tree and contains what we call azadirachtin. This disrupts pests' ability to feed, breed, and molt, ultimately interfering with their life cycle. It also offers excellent antifungal and antibacterial benefits, protecting the plants from diseases. Neem oil is also non toxic to beneficial insects like bees when used properly, and it is safe for plants, causing no harm to foliage or the roots. It also has long lasting residual effects that provide continued protection, making it an excellent natural alternative to chemical pesticides. And finally, I am going to be adding a little bit of soap to the solution. You can generally use any type of soap, but if you have Castile soap, then that is the best soap to use for this purpose. And the soap will act as a surfactant, breaking down the waxy coating on the insect exoskeletons, leading to suffocation and dehydration of the pests. And it also helps the insecticide to penetrate hard to reach areas and provides a longer lasting effect. I will be alternating neem oil with pyrethrum every 7 days. And when you choose to use pyrethrum, please note that it is very important that you use pyrethrum in the evening only. This is because pyrethrum is highly toxic to bees, so you need to use it in the evening when we have absent pollinator activity. And also, pyrethrum breaks down very quickly in the presence of sunlight. So, when you're using pyrethrum in the evening, you're giving it longer hours to work on whatever pest you're dealing with. Always have some form of protective gear while spraying this solution. Have a mask and also have some gear for your eyes. I honestly did not have proper protective gear for my eyes, and so I ended up using sunglasses because I was not about to play with chili, guys. I wasn't gonna do it. So my sunglasses worked just fine. When it comes to the biological control of pests and diseases, you have a wide variety of options. When you're dealing with red spider mites, you have the option of using predatory mites like Phytoceylus passimilis, and you can also use entomopathogenic fungi. So the list is endless. And if you're interested in the many options that you have when it comes to the control of red spider mites, you can check out a more detailed scientific video that I have on my channel. I also decided to spray the rest of the trees, especially the citrus trees and the pomegranate, because they had also been infested with red spider mites. So I did that, and I'll be checking on them every 7 days, alternating between neem oil and pyrethrum that has been mixed with the solution that we have used. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll be updating you on the progress of how the apple trees are coming along in my subsequent videos. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the content, please give it a thumbs up and do share it to someone who might be interested in these kind of topics. And until the next video, happy gardening.